We see many high-achieving employees offered the opportunity to participate in deferred compensation plans. If you're offered this opportunity, congratulations. Deferred compensation participation comes with a dizzying array of decisions, some of which are very difficult to change after the fact. We've made this video to help you understand some of the basics of deferred compensation. Deferred compensation plans can be a great savings vehicle, especially if you're maxing contributions to your 401k and have additional funds to save for retirement. What's the main reason someone might choose to participate in a deferred compensation plan? Paying less tax. If you are in a high income tax bracket today and expect that you'll be in a lower tax bracket in retirement, it probably makes sense to participate in your deferred compensation plan. Here are some high-level considerations associated with deciding whether or not to participate in your deferred comp plan. What is the financial strength of your employer? Deferred compensation plans are essentially an IOU from your employer. If the company goes bankrupt, deferred compensation is considered an unsecured debt of the company and could potentially mean a total loss of your contribution. How much of your wealth is tied to your employer? In addition to your salary, you may have stock options, restricted stock units, or stock purchase plans, all of which are tied to the financial performance of one company. Adding deferred compensation exposure on top of these may be assuming more risk than is appropriate. How long before you plan to retire or leave your current employer? The longer the time before you commence deferred compensation distributions, the greater the risk is something could threaten your employer's financial stability. What is your tax bracket likely to be in retirement? This is impossible to know for certain since no one knows for sure what tax rates will be in 10 or 15 years. But here's an example of something that we worked on last year for a client. We advised a client to defer approximately $50,000 of bonus, reducing her marginal tax bracket from 32% to 24%. This saved her roughly $4,000 in tax. Given her income and 401k savings, we think it's a safe bet. We not only reduced her current tax, but also reduced the tax she'll pay in retirement. If you decide to participate in deferred comp, there are 4 important choices to make. How much compensation to defer, how to invest your deferrals, when to take distributions, and how to take distributions. These decisions are intertwined and require careful thought and planning. In most cases, the distribution elections, the when and how, are difficult to change, and depending on your choice, can require a 5-year waiting period. Let's look at each of these individually. How much to defer? This is usually based on a variety of factors, such as how much you are allowed to defer, how much current income can you comfortably defer without impairing your current lifestyle, will the deferral result in a lower marginal income tax currently? Our tax planning software helps our clients maximize their deferral and lower their current tax liability. Investing your deferrals. Most deferred comp plans offer a menu of investment options very similar to a 401k investment offering. Unlike 401k plans, deferred comp plans have something of an expiration date, a date or period of time when all the funds must be distributed to you. In most cases, each year's deferral can be invested differently and can have a different distribution election. It's also important to remember that your investment choices shouldn't be left on autopilot. We work with our clients to change the investment allocation of their deferred comp accounts to reduce the investment risk as they near the distribution date. When to take distributions. Deferred compensation doesn't have to be taken in retirement, but ideally should be, since the primary motivation is paying less income tax. In some cases, the triggers for deferred compensation distribution are beyond your control. For example, most deferred comp gets paid to you or your heirs upon separation of service, death, or disability. Here's an example of something one of our clients encountered. Steve was a senior executive for a large pharmaceutical company. His plan was to retire at age 65. However, when Steve was 62, the company offered a generous early retirement package. His separation from service triggered the commencement of his deferred compensation distributions. Fortunately, we'd worked with Steve several years before and advised him to elect distribution of deferred comp over several years, which kept his tax liability much lower than if he had elected a lump sum payment. Let's explore the how to take it part of the deferred compensation equation. Most plans allow for either a lump sum payment or a series of periodic payments. This decision is unique to your personal situation, but this is where missteps can be costly and where we see do-it-yourselfers make expensive mistakes. Among the considerations are, at what age do you anticipate retiring? Ideally, you don't want to receive deferred compensation distributions until after you retire. When do you plan to take Social Security? We often advise clients to take deferred compensation distributions upon retirement while extending the commencement of Social Security benefits. This allows you to maximize your Social Security. Remember, each year of Social Security deferral equates to about an 8% annualized increase in benefits. Can you accumulate enough in deferred comp and other accounts to cover your anticipated living expenses between your retirement and when you must commence distributions from your 401k and IRA accounts? Should you ladder annual lump sum distributions, or should each year's deferral be distributed over a period of years? As you can see, the complexities of deferred comp can be overwhelming. Deferred comp benefits need to be assessed within the totality of your entire retirement plan. We recommend working with a professional, either a tax professional or CFP, when you first start participating in your deferred comp plan. Interested in learning more? We invite you to give us a call to explore the benefits of working with an experienced and trusted advisor.